Hey guys, it's Dark Siege, and I want to talk about the future of Siege. And I'm thinking the next cycle is going to be Siege leadership. And this all is from Mr. Siege, who put out a video earlier today that VIP support told somebody that the next cycle is going to be Siege and leadership. And we all know about VIP support, so it's probably going to be Cavs. But I wanted to get this video out before it's officially announced. And I turned on Mr. Siege's video, which hopefully I remember to link, so I can make my 3 viewers go over there. And the background is just a KVK I was in a long time ago, so I just wanted some background fighting to give you something to look at. And I turned on this video, and he was just giving his impressions, and then I stopped it because I wanted to give my impressions or what I think the future should look like without his input, right? I think it's healthy to have just different perspectives and just not be influenced, right? Okay, so like I said, it could be the new cycle is Siege and leadership. And I remember when I went to the LA meetup, they talked about the new civilization they were going to release, and I always had this impression that they were going to release that together. So I'm guessing they did not say this at all. I'm guessing that they're going to have uh, a civilization hopefully related to Siege, and that would also incorporate Epic Siege Commanders, which I'll get into in a minute too, right? Again, this is all me guessing, speculation, so the odds are 100% wrong, because every time I think something's going to happen, it never does. But what the hell, I'm making a video, it's fun. Okay, so again, if it is leadership or not, this is all per Mr. Siege as far as that world, okay? And the last couple of videos I put out, one of my viewers, and then there was a discussion, very brief, about the future of Siege because of the King skill that came out, right? And I wanted to go over like the little history of engineering commanders in Siege and where I think we're going. And so here we are. So when Siege first came out, it was more of a liability. It took forever to set up, break down. The damage was worse, right? I think they increased the damage over time. And so that's what they did. They wanted Siege, Lilith wanted Siege to be a part of the game because nobody was playing it. Nobody was. And every kingdom was like, you cannot have any Siege over T1, and everything needed to be deleted. And that was across the board. And I even remember when Siege first came out, I asked one of the R4, R5s, right, because they did that little rotation in the kingdom I was in at the time, and I said, hey, I want to go Siege, so can I have T5 and T4? And I was told no. So even though I wanted to in the very beginning, I couldn't because my kingdom would not allow it. And I think that has been squashed a little bit in a lot of kingdoms where they're allowing Siege. I think some kingdoms see the importance. Hey, if you're watching the screen, watch this guy try to attack me. It's kind of funny. He goes one-on-one and he just gets killed. In any event, where was I? And so Lilith then changed it, right? They increased the damage. They decreased the setup and breakdown time, so it was much easier for Siege to set up, break down, and get around the mobility portion, which, if I'm being honest, I still have an issue with. I think it's a big issue for me is the amount of time. Everybody in this game has an opportunity to cheeseburger. Siege does not. And I'm okay with like even reducing the damage I do just to give me that ability, right? But that's a whole nother video because I wrote this long text to A Goose and asked her to forward it to whoever does Siege because there's some issues with Siege, and whatever. Okay, so then the second cycle came out, right, and they added Smite and AOE, and that was, I think, the game changer. And then a lot of people, not a lot of people, but a few more people started to use Siege. People like C Will and Mr. Siege. I would say that Mr. Siege had a huge influence on Siege blowing up. Just seeing reports, right? And then 68 buffs. I was watching him. He was like a brand new content creator, at least for me. And he mentioned Mr. Siege, and I was like, wait, what? There's a guy who does just Siege? And then that's how I got turned on to Mr. Siege, was by 68 Bus, who does some videos on Siege as well, but he's not dedicated Siege, and obviously Mr. Siege is, and I am like 95% dedicated Siege. And little side note, I think you should have one good field um, march besides Siege in any event. So lots of traction, lots of interest, and then with that came a lot of hate because it wasn't the normal. All the whales, all the big players, they had their world, and it was framed as such: is, hey, you have 6, 7 marches, all field very mobile, and you go out and kick butt. And these siege marches have that opportunity to annoy and piss them off and get better trades than what they were used to, right? And then it was like an inconvenience. And then when you saw, at least a couple months ago, 60 GT and 93 go at it, GT had a lot of siege. And to me, I remember looking at that Ultra fight and thinking, this is what we call breaking point, where now it's tipping the scales of the acceptability of siege, because some of the top two, because even 93 had some siege in there as well, but it was mostly 60 GT. You had some of the top kingdoms in Rise of Kingdom accept siege. But with that being said, a lot of content creators who didn't use siege, and they're almost all of them, hated on siege, right? And my biggest beef with that is I think they've influenced the game now to where Lilith is slowing down on siege. But, and I said this in another video, like, they could have siege too. It's not like I won a lottery where I'm the only one that gets to use siege and I'm like in God mode taking people out. Like, I still had to create, I still had to invest my gold head, I still had to do my patterns to get legendary stuff. Like, I had to put work into it. And then now you're changing the rules, right? And if there was that king skill, to me, I don't know how often it's going to be used, and I'm hoping it's not too much. Um, and I hope it's enough to say that Lilith can say, "Hey, we did something to appease those who don't like siege." And if that's all they do, I can live with it. But it's a little like, hey, you wanted this in the game, and then you have it, and now you're pulling back because you made it too good. Like, hey, I don't know. Everybody can make this march, so I don't know why we have to nerf it for those that choose not to use it. Okay, so that plays into where I think we're going with the future of siege. If I had to guess, right, let's say you're the guy or on the team making siege, right? You work for Lilith and you're making siege commanders. I think, when we saw that video of the 6th anniversary where they were saying, oh, we heard your comments about siege being too strong, I think it's pre-nerfed. Or whatever cool abilities it was going to have, not going to have anymore, unfortunately. Now, I hope to God I'm wrong. I hope they come out something that is not vanilla, that's going to make a splash, to make all the people that hate siege say, you know what? I need to get a siege march. Because if they get a siege march, then it's a dead issue. And I know some of them will never get a siege march. But they'll get it, they'll understand, and they do understand why it's so strong, right? So, again, I think it's pre-nerfed. And I think that's unfortunate. I don't think... Do I think that we're now going to allow to have 3 full marches of siege? I don't know, man. I hope so. I'm counting on it. I literally have the mats to make almost a whole legendary 3rd set, and I haven't done yet because I don't know what they're going to do. And I'm very suspect of their actions right now, right? So, with that being said, if siege does come out, a couple questions, I think. Does it have to be 2 commanders that get released? Like, we already have 4 commanders. Just release 1. Right? Just a thought. We, and I mean the royal we as siege, we don't have I want to be part of the game more than just a range march. Maybe I can have siege that lets me protect my castle, right? Or it gives me, um, like I can garrison, maybe garrison a flag, maybe garrison a pass, right? They keep when at the LA meetup, I talked to the president, uh, for lack of a better word, the leader of Lilith, right? And he said they were going to take away the power as a requirement on how they make KVKs, right? Because I was telling them how the power requirements are destroying other kingdoms, right? And it causes a lot of infighting unnecessarily. And a lot of people who are casual players don't understand in Season 4 and Season 5 why their kingdom is zeroing them and kicking them out because they're just casual players and they don't have an opportunity to play 24/7, right? And if you didn't have those power requirements as part of KVK matchups, we wouldn't have to do that, right? We wouldn't have dead weight. With that being said, um, it's very difficult to have siege as a garrison or a pass because not everybody has T4s, not everybody has T5s, nor do they want to make them because they don't want to increase their power, right? But if you want siege to be accepted like a full unit, like everybody else, like infantry, archers, and calves, they need to have the abilities to do the same thing that they do. And you almost have to put the cart in front of the horse to say, hey, we're going to give you somebody that can garrison, and then kingdoms will go, hey, maybe we can use our siege for other functions besides just gathering. That's a hope, a wish, and a prayer. And we'll see what happens. What I think is going to happen is we're just going to see this whole last year, all the commanders have been lukewarm. I think that's going to happen. I think they're going to be pre-nerfed. I expect no different, and I hope they play a role. Like I said, I can, take on a flag as a garrison, or maybe my own city, protected. If I'm heavy focused on siege, I would love to be able to have that as a garrison for my city to protect it. Okay, I'm very curious to see what's going to happen if, in fact, Siege is the next. If it's going to be one commander, two commander, if it's going to be vanilla, if it's going to be smite, if it's going to be skill. I don't have any predictions on that. I would hope that, like archers, it's something different, something that we should go, that's interesting, right? I just don't. I hope it's just not vanilla. It's going to be, skill commander does damage, good rage, right? Do something different. Be creative. They've been very creative in this last year. Although they've been vanilla releases, they've been creative. Give me an all damage, right? Just like Belly. That would be badass. Oh my god, right? Stuff like that where they add more debuffs to help other marches in the field so they become like a necessity to have in the field. Like, oh, everybody wants a hermit in the field. Well, shit, man, let's have it that everybody wants a siege in the field so we can perform those same functions as either buffing damage for others, right? That way we can complement field marches, or we debuff those out there again to complement the people who are fighting the front lines because siege is completely defended unless it's a one-on-one match with field fighters. Outside of me taking out, archers like I do a lot, I would love to be able to help them in another way. Because I wanted to talk about epic siege commanders, and here's the point I want to make: in no way on God's green earth do or should they be able to combination up with the legendary and be impactful after season 4, right? Season 1, 2, and 3, God bless you, have fun, make them strong. Maybe season 4, but after that, make them so they can't go in the field anymore. Like, just cut them out their legs, because I don't want an epic siege commanders to go out there and just epic all by itself with T5s legendary and making 1-4 trades. That'd be such bullshit. There's no other archers, calves, infantry that can do that now, or epic commanders, even paired up with a legendary, or meta, or have any kind of positive trade. Do not do that. Do not release epic commanders. And if you have to, after season 3, cut them off at their legs. They're Epic Commander. Nobody cares about the investments that you made on them. Give a refund on the Epics if you want. Nobody cares. But do not allow them to be strong in Season of Conquest. Maybe Season 4, right, just to balance out one season, right, to have some fun. But after that, no. Do not allow Epic Commanders to be so strong that they can be paired either just Epic by themselves and get 2-to-1 trades. That would be BS. Or even pair it up with Legendary and get good trades. All right, guys, this is Dark Siege. If you made it this far, please like and subscribe. Make some comments. It is all very helpful. Range rocks. And I just started the Britain KVK. And hopefully at the next pass opening, I'll get some video or some reports and I'll share them. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.